$750. That's what the Nintendo Switch 2 in just 4 games will cost you according to current prices, not including therapy. But here's the kicker. Even after dropping all that money on an overpriced nostalgia box, if Nintendo even dreams you're emulating a game from 2002, they can telepathically brick your console. No proof, no trial, just a strong speculation that you might be having fun in an unauthorized way. Imagine if your iPhone saw you Googling Android and just exploded in your hands. That's Nintendo energy now. It's me, a consequence. Access denied. Fun detected. Self-destruct. What is happening? 5. What? No! 3. No! Behold, the Switch 2, a $500 nostalgia machine built to remind you of a time when happiness came bundled with a disc, a memory card, and a controller that didn't snitch on you. Sure, it looks fun. Bright colors, cheerful jingles, classic music. Mario's even waving at you like your childhood wasn't collateralized. But this isn't joy. It's simulated joy. A digital placebo designed to keep your nostalgia receptors busy, while Nintendo picks your wallet like it's a Mario Party minigame and you're losing. Introducing Nintendo Emotional Installment Plan. Re-experience joy from a simpler time for just $41.99 a month. Set includes artificial scarcity, digital regret, and complimentary Joy-Con drift, now with enhanced wobble physics. God damn it! Hey you! Having a strong emotional reaction? Experiencing flashbacks? You might be suffering from unlicensed nostalgia. Childlike wonder sold separately. I just wanted to play Pikmin. Nintendo not responsible for missing save files, corrupted memory cards, or the concept of ownership. Side effects may include nostalgia fatigue, recurring Wii Sports trauma, sudden belief you still have. Okay, so let's get the elephant out of the room. Is this all Nintendo's fault? Well, maybe not. I know, shocking. Some industry insiders think this isn't just corporate greed, it's corporate panic. You see, Chinese resellers have been draining Japan's console stock dry since the PS5 launch, buying in bulk, flipping for profit, and leaving actual consumers to fight each other for scraps. So maybe Nintendo isn't chasing profits, maybe they're building fences, which would be noble. If they didn't also charge me $90 to play Mario Kart in my own house. Let's talk about that. Act 1, Greed Mode activated. There was a time Nintendo felt like that lovable, slightly drunk uncle of the gaming industry.
Julian!
Late to the tech race, but also good for a laugh.
My body is ready. My body is ready.
Now it's $1 trillion nostalgia cartel selling $80 Joy tokens like they're limited edition Rolexes for people who peaked emotionally during Super Smash Bros. Melee. Not me, though. That was Brawl. So, $449 for the base console, $80 for Mario Kart World of Regrets, $70 for Donkey Kong Bonanza, a name that screams unlicensed theme park ride and ends about the same way, bankruptcy. And are there banana physics in this Donkey Kong game? No. So, what exactly am I paying for, Reggie? I mean Bowser? Now toss in cloud storage and pray the Joy-Cons don't drift this time around. And congratulations, you've just spent $750 to remember what it's like being 12. I don't even want to do that for free. Hey, remember me? Go away, we don't talk anymore. But hey, at least the games are yours, right? Unless you live in a country with, say, a functioning economy, or unless the global supply chain doesn't decide to snap in half mid-launch, or Nintendo doesn't just cancel your joy because of a firmware update and random speculation. From where I'm standing, this thing is a ticking time bomb. So the answer, Mr. Viewer, is a resounding no. These games are not yours. They never were, because deep in the Orwellian bottom of the EULA barrel, somewhere between the clause about unauthorized joy and a line item reserving the right to repossess your soul, is this delightful bit of corporate menace. If we suspect you're pirating, we'll nuke your console from orbit. Without the burden of proof or need for warning, just good old-fashioned Nintendo justice. Fast, brutal, and cheerfully unaccountable, which is the kind of policy you'd expect from a military junta, not the company that made Yoshi's Island. Now I gotta worry about Big Mario watching me through the webcam with that 1,000-yard Fireflower stare. 1984? Try 1996, but with worse terms of service. Does anybody else miss the days of when the only thing Nintendo ruined was your thumbs? Man, this game looks like shit. Alright, just a little fan patch. Nintendo, this is practically charity work. Applying patch. Estimated time remaining 3 seconds. Applying Nintendo countermeasure. Wait, what? It's me, a consequence. Self-destruct sequence initiated. Again. In the 5. No. So speaking of non-corporate things, I actually have a pretty cool offer for you guys today, because I've partnered up with my friend and personal audio engineer of this channel, Sam, to tell you guys about his rapidly growing clothing brand, HellxHell, centered around a variety of shirts and art prints for retro games, horror, and Japanese aesthetic. These shirts are screen printed in Austin, Texas, so they're super comfortable and they're high quality. Sam even gifted me one personally, and I love it because it shows Majora's Mask, one of my favorite games of all time. So for the next 30 days, if you use the code Tantris, you get 10% off your first order. And every purchase not only helps my friend Sam, it also helps me. So please follow him and check it out, link in the description. Ninstalgia as a subscription service. Remember when nostalgia used to hit you out of nowhere? Like a smell, a melody, a warped GameCube disc you found in your sock drawer. Yeah, now it hits your credit card. Every damn month. Nintendo 64 Online? Ha! More like Nintendo 64 OnlyFans for old games. Except you don't even get to touch anything. It's become obvious Nintendo doesn't innovate as much, if at all anymore. They reincarnate. They've stopped making joy and started selling the memory of it in HD. So let's talk about Breath of the Wild, for example. A game so transcendent, Nintendo sold it at full price on 3 different consoles over 8 years. Jesus only got resurrected once. When Nintendo limits availability, hardware, retro titles, and limited time releases, they're not losing sales, they're printing outrage. Here's how Nintendo does it. Step 1, they limit the thing. Step 2, watch gamers scream on X. Step 3, they let the YouTubers milk it for content, hi by the way. And step 4, free marketing, fueled by rage. Nintendo used to ignore complaints, but now they've graduated to basically monetizing them. You know, it's like going from silent neglect to active betrayal. Super Mario 3D All-Stars was only available for 6 months, creating skyrocketing FOMO, online chaos, and record sales. It's like everything's backwards compatible now, because we are. We're not buying the future, we're just paying to hear the GameCube startup jingle and pretend we still have a bedtime. You know, actually, I remember this time when my mom was trying to get me to go to sleep because my dad and I were too busy playing Street Fighter.
It's 10 o'clock, time to go to bed.
It's 9:30 if you look at the time, dear. You know, the Switch 2 comes bundled with a subscription to your own childhood, but retro games? They're there, but only if you're on the top tier plan of Nintendo Classics Plus Premium Deluxe Infinity Tier 2 Turbo Edition. But what about that welcome tour, huh? You know, that cute little tutorial that shows off the shiny new buttons? What if you're too dumb to figure out how to turn the damn thing on and start playing? Remember Astro's Playroom, Wii Sports? Well, Nintendo took that and slapped a $9.99 sticker on it. A glorified tech demo, a mini-game compilation, a paywall tutorial. Basically, Nintendo's making you pay to learn how to press A. Well, excuse me, Nintendo. I'm gonna have to press B on that one. Sorry, it's just... no one's hyped about this anymore. The magic's gone. It's like Nintendo threw the best party of the decade and then ended up charging for water. It's like every comment on this thing is about how expensive it is, and that's when I realized this great day just wasn't anymore. You know, other companies give you a free demo, Nintendo gives you an invoice for joy, and you'd think if a company was charging you a subscription to relive your childhood, they'd at least let you own your damn memories. But no, every game is streamed and locked behind tiers. Legally speaking, you own the nostalgia about as much as you own a cloud. Nintendo's legal position is basically, we believe you should have access to your memories, just not legally, not conveniently, and certainly not for free. Because they don't sell games anymore. They sell you curated memories shrink-wrapped in guilt and nostalgia. But hey, don't take my word for it. Nintendo has a product for that. Error. You attempted to feel joy without a premium connection. Please upgrade to Ninstalgia Plus Platinum. Feeling hollow? Wish life felt like it did in 2004 when your biggest problem was your GameCube freezing during Metroid Prime and your parents fighting quietly?
Hey bitch, I said shut the fuck up!
Introducing Ninstalgia Plus, Nintendo's new subscription service that lets you remember joy for just $12.99 a month. Luigi's Mansion, memory tier locked. Dude, I just wanted to vacuum ghosts and forget my real ones. Mario, this says I waive the right to authentic joy and grant Nintendo exclusive rights to my formative memories and pancreas? What memories? Ninstalgia Plus, because joy is temporary, but monetization is forever.
Hey, I'm Jack.
Sorry, who let this man in here?
I'm your bandmate. We made an album.
Are you sure?
Anyway, if you like the weird creative stuff on this channel, we recently dropped an album, The Morning Image.
Yeah, never heard of it.
You sang on it and co-wrote the entire thing?
Sounds fake, but okay. Link in the description. Validate our existence. Act 3. Owning nothing. feeling everything. So if you haven't gotten the point yet, after paying $80 to remember how fun Mario Kart used to be, surprise, you don't own it, just the receipt. Oh wait, you threw it out? Well great, now you own nothing. And you're happy. So, alright, look at this. It's called a game key card. This is not a cartridge. This is bullshit. It's a glorified QR code with worse boundary issues than my ex. Like a $90 permission slip that asks your console to call Nintendo and say, "Hey, can we remember Joy today?" Breath of the Wild on Switch 2 gives you 13 gigabytes of 2017 and 18 gigabytes of disappointment therapy. It's like buying a steak and then being handed a brochure about cows. And as for game preservation, Nintendo didn't just kill it. They erased it from memory completely, slapped a cease and desist on its ghost, and then sold the headstone for $20.99 plus tax. They didn't just raise the prices, they also set a precedent. Expect Sony, Microsoft, and Rockstar to follow, especially with GTA 6. Because the $80 threshold has been breached, and now everyone's licking their lips. So like I said earlier in the video, this isn't a console, it's a nostalgia rental service, churning out lukewarm fragments of joy, served with the side of firmware updates, account linking, and bad faith. Because they don't sell games anymore, they just sell access. Temporary conditional access, like a parole hearing for your childhood. And remember not to so much as breathe near modding tools, because Big Mario will show up in a tailored suit, briefcase in hand, here to repossess your memories. But as always, scrudly muddly.